not talk, you'll get stuff done, right? So anyway, here comes Monday, and he comes into the class, and he gives me this torn up paper, and I'm like, what is this? And he's like, it's the paper. And I said, why is it torn? Like, half of it's gone. And he's like, oh my God. He goes, oh, it ripped when I put it in my backpack and I zipped my backpack, it ripped. And I said, well, okay, where's the other half? And he's like, oh, I don't know. And I said, okay, so I'm supposed to take half a paper from you? Do you want half credit? And he's like, no. And I said, well, you're gonna have half credit because I only have half a paper. And he's like, yeah, but I did the whole thing. And I said, well, where is it? I don't see it. I said, I'm not going to give you credit for something I don't see. So then, oh my God. I said, here's your answers to this half of the paper, and here's a new copy. He's like, I got to do it again? I said, yes, you got to do it again. Oh my God. Well, I did say it sarcastically, but I swear, it's like, you want to just like, ugh. I'm like, God, give me patience, please, God, please give me patience. Oh my goodness. It's like, what is wrong with this picture? So, recently, so I said, look, since that point, I told him, your seat is in the front, okay? It's in front and in the middle, in front of me, or near in front of me, where I stand and conduct class, and, you know. And he's like, but I don't want to sit there. And I said, I am not asking you what you want, okay? I'm not asking you what you want. I'm telling you, this is your seat. And I don't want to have, every single time I see you, a problem with this. You understand? And he's like, yeah. So then, ever since then, I have to tell this kid, you sit in the front and in the middle, because he tries and tries to sit where he wants to sit. I said, no, but I don't want to sit there. I don't care what you want. Sit there now. And he's like, and he takes forever to push his chair over there and his backpack and all this other stuff. And it's just so freaking annoying. So I said, okay, if I have to tell you again, and I have to keep telling you this, I'm going to start deducting points from you. Okay, it's going to be deduction here, deduction there, like a point here, a point there. I said, and soon your grade's going to go, it's not going to be a B, okay? It's not going to be a B anymore. And I don't want that to happen to you, but you don't listen, you're not listening to me, and I need you to listen. So I'm going to start deducting points. And he's like, okay. Like, he don't care. He's like, well, I don't care, basically. So then this last week, he throws himself on the ground. Like, I literally saw him throw himself off the chair. And he goes, oh, I accidentally kicked my heel. I accidentally kicked my ankle, so it hurts. And I said, okay, well, maybe you shouldn't throw yourself off the chair, but I will send you to the nurse, and she'll probably give you an ice pack, and here you go, here's for the nurse. He's like, okay, yeah, I gotta go to the nurse, yeah. So he goes to the nurse, comes back with his ice pack, and he's just playing with the ice pack, and I'm like, you might want to put that on your heel, dude, like, what the heck? And he's like, I know. So, so he puts it on his heel, or his ankle, whatever, and my other kids that are like 8th graders, 7th and 8th graders, and 6th graders that are doing really well in the class, they were at my desk to get some music that was a little harder than what we were doing, right? So I'm like printing shit out at my desk, and they're like looking at it, and I'm looking at him like, because he's making faces. His whole face is like turned into like, I don't know how I would describe it. I'm not sure. A contortion of weird faces. So they're looking at him, and then he starts talking again. So instead of moving him, I had to move other people out of his way, because it's like, he'll start talking to them. So I'm like, can you just move over a little bit? So they start moving, and the kids are like, that are around my desk, they start asking me like, what's wrong with him? And I said, he's just, he's a sixth grader. And they're like, no, miss, no, they don't act like that. And I said, well, he's just a little bit more, I don't know, expressive. And then my little star student, he, of all people, he's like, I think he's mentally unstable. And I said, look, we're not diagnosing people here, okay? People, come on. I said, no. I don't want to hear things like that. I said, he's just a kid, okay? He's just a normal kid. And they're like, no. So anyway, I said, I don't want to, this is not a discussion for us to have. So that ended. I squashed that right away. And then so when he came back, I was like, are you okay? Is there anything else we can do for you? Are you sure you're feeling okay with your ankle? And he's like, he just got weird all of a sudden. He was like, I'm fine. Kept looking at his paper, and I said, okay. So then after that, he tried to trip somebody. One of our students kept coming up to the board to look at the example. One of our students kept periodically coming up to look at the example on the board as he was doing his work. And this kid, the talker, tried to trip him. And I was like, I didn't see it, but I know he was right next to him, and this kid goes, he tried to trip me right now. And I said, what? And he goes, no, I didn't. And he's getting mad. He's like telling this kid he didn't do that. And the kid's like, yeah. And then I have other kids coming over, but never get involved in anything. They're just like, they came over to me and they're like, you tried to trip him on purpose. And I said, okay. So I told him, I said, I always swing my legs. He just got in my way. And I said, I want us to keep our legs to ourselves, and there's no tripping in here. And he's like, I didn't. So after that, we're leaving. And I have an autistic kid in my class, and he says, he just starts yelling right away. And he goes, he called me four eyes right now. He called me four eyes. And I said, what? We're leaving, and this kid, the Brat, he says, I didn't call him four eyes. He called me a B word. He said, hurry up, B. And then the P is the B word. And this kid, the autistic kid, he just was like, I never say words like that. I never say words like that. I would never say that. I would never say that. I never say that. He called me four eyes. He did that on purpose. He just said it. And so then this autistic kid was almost about to cry. He was like, I would never say, I don't talk like that. I don't say words like that. And I said, okay. I said, when something like this happens, I said, and if you feel like, I go, maybe it was a misunderstanding. I go, you feel like somebody said something like that to you? I said, that's not for you to just call them a name. Okay, you could have come to me and said, hey, he used a bad word on me. He called me this when I was stacking the chairs. I go, but no, you didn't. You decided to call him a name. And that's not okay. He's like, oh. He goes, yeah, but he said, and I said, it doesn't matter what you think he said. Because I think you think he said that. Because he's not, I've never had any complaints about him saying things like that. I said, but that doesn't give you the right to call him names. Or anybody a name. And he's like, oh. I said, so I want you to apologize. And he goes, yeah, but he has to apologize too. And I said, you're both going to apologize so we can squash this now. So the autistic kid, he's like, sorry. He goes, I'm sorry. Oh my God. Oh, jeez. These kids. So I told Alan, I said, call these people, let them know, because it's out of control. Out of control. All right, guys, have a great Friday. Thank God it's Friday. That's all I can say. Thank God it's Friday. Oh.